Yeah. And I know myself, I do not allow anything in my savings account to cover any transactions onto my checking account if it goes over, because, then your savings account also gets withdrawn if something happens.
In addition to that, I think that's a nice little treat that the banks give you, because you still get charged for the overage. So what's the point?
They're still making their money.
That's exactly right.
Very, very much so. Thank you for sharing that, because I did not know that you could do that with the bank.
Yeah.
That you could
In
give
fact,
an extra
I even
code.
heard they will issue you a lower credit amount card specifically for buying online. And that card will not work on, let's say you go to 7-Eleven to buy gas. It won't work there. It only works online. So that's something you might want to investigate with your own bank.
It's good protection, because I do know that's one of the biggest fears that people have when they go online. They don't like to shop they want to buy, but they don't really want to shop online because of those security risks. And I mean, yes, if you're using a credit card, you can dispute it, but still there's paperwork. It's a headache.
It's inconvenient, because they're going to cancel your card, so you're going to be without your card for however long it takes till you get your new card.
Yep.
Unless it's a local bank that can issue you a card, right there. But again, then you have to go to the bank. You have to wait for them to do that. It is a hassle. So if you eliminate the problem before it begins, then you're ahead of the game.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know that's a great way to protect your debits and your credit card online. What about protecting your PC from malware?
Well, now that's a whole nother ballgame. Because we do recommend that you keep and maintain a good antivirus. But I'm going to tell you right now that for all practical purposes, they're almost inert anymore. Because the malware that's coming through, and let me explain what malware is.
Okay.
It is a combination of malicious software. So we call it malware. And that would encompass viruses, Trojans, spyware, adware, nagware, encryptionware. I mean, there's so many different types of malware. So we just use that one term to encompass all of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, you mentioned about what just happened to the one client of yours on Facebook where they saw this 800 number. Is there something that maybe a point or a tip that you can give our audience and what they need to look for so that they don't call those numbers or they don't click on anything online?
Absolutely. And one of the things that I've noticed is they're specifically targeting, everybody's a target, but they are specifically targeting elder white women in assisted living facilities.
Ooh.
Now, as you know, if you have an elder, they're always hungry for conversation. And these guys are professional at what they do. You remind me of my grandma. My grandma's such a sweet little lady. And they just eat that up. And the next thing you know, they've talked them out of their credit card number. Mm-hmm. And then I'm getting a phone call. So my suggestion is when that 800 number pops up, don't call that 800 number. Call Computer Rich LLC.
We'll give that phone number out right now.
And that will be 321-482. And this is going to be difficult now. 4567.
Awesome. And we'll make sure all that information is on our social Facebook page as well as our website.
Excellent.
This is amazing information on what's happening. But you mentioned that there's almost nobody that has malware, spyware that can prevent this stuff. So what can people do then to try to prevent this?
There are some tools that you can use, but one of the best tools that you can have to help avoid malware is education. Realizing what it is that you're actually doing when you're online, because one of the things I wanted to talk about is social engineering. Social engineering is the art of manipulating someone into taking an action or revealing information without their knowledge. And when you're online, you are consistently being manipulated whether you realize that or not. Have you ever gone to a download page to download a specific item and then you see 14 different words that say download, download here, download this, download that? And so which one is the real one? Mm-hmm. And even legitimate sites do this because it's advertising.
Exactly. I've also been to a site where I'm going to download something that I know is legit, but there'll be something checked and you don't see it where you could uncheck it. So now they're downloading other stuff
right.
into the system.
And that was the other thing I was going to mention. You know, a lot of times when we do a download, we don't really. Who reads that thing? Nobody reads that.
And
I mean, and you would need an attorney anyway.
And the little Yuli, right, that goes with it.
Exactly. But one of the things that I suggest is don't. You know, most of us and it used to be safe. You can't do it anymore. Next. Okay. Instead of doing that, you have to stop and read each part of that download because, as you mentioned, there might be a box you might have to uncheck. And what it is, that box comes checked, and it means that if you click next, you're going to get whatever software is initiated on that page. So stop and read it and decide whether that's a piece of software you want or not. In most cases, it's not going to be a software that you're going to want. And so stop and read each section before you click next. Additionally, look over the whole page or the dialog box that pops up because sometimes it's not something you unchecked. It'll be a big next or okay, but if you look at the bottom left-hand corner, almost imperceptible, ghosted out is the word deny.
I have seen those, yes.
And so what it's saying is you're going to get this software if you click next, and if you don't want it, then you have to click deny. But we don't even see that deny in most cases because it's unobtrusive. You know, it's down in the corner. It's whited out. So, you overlook it.
Very pale gray.
Yeah, exactly. And so you just see the big okay or next. And so now you've, again, downloaded or piggybacked some software you didn't really want.
And I know a lot of times I've seen, and I've had this happen to me, I'm busy doing something, all of a sudden these things pop up and I try to exit out because I don't want to touch any of those buttons and it won't X out. And,
yes.
And so, Richard, come here, help.
Even though I'm a professional, it's even caught me sometimes and I'm going, darn it, look, oh man, and now I've got to clean my own computer. So don't feel bad. It happens to all of us. They're very professional at what they do, and they know human behavior, so they know how you're going to react to a certain stimuli.
It's very upsetting and distracting, definitely time-consuming to do all of that.
Not to mention criminal.
So again, if somebody
but catching them if it's
right.
if it's out of China, India, Vietnam, wherever.
And this is why I have a love-hate relationship with these computers. It's my livelihood. I need it, but I do get very, very flustered at times with all that happening.
And that's easy to happen. And I do look. I get all the frustration. See, because I'm telling you, when I get your computer, then you don't worry about it. Don't panic. When you see me panic, then you can panic because then you know we're in trouble.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I do know the last time you were on the show, I had actually put up, and I have it still in our notes section on the So Social radio show, 8 different ways to, what do I call this here?
To avoid, protect yourself or avoid malware.
Exactly.
And it's not foolproof, but again, the first tip is, first of all, don't buy online. Okay, now that's unrealistic, I know.
Oh, darn.
You just shut down about $200 billion worth of sales this holiday season.
Right after Cyber Monday, right? We haven't heard the numbers yet, but I know they're high.
But first, make sure you have a good antivirus and keep it up to date. Even though we don't think it's going to be much help, it is there, and we still recommend you have it. You don't just click next. Stop and read each page, because if you don't, you're going to end up with, and I'm going to use this term, crapware.
Which is almost worse than malware.
Yes, exactly.
It just keeps showing back up.
And well, all of these are all designed to make somebody money. And a lot of times it's a pop-up, it's an advertisement. You click the red X, and somebody just got 3/4 of a penny. When you add that up over all the computers in America, all the computers around the world that are clicking these little red X's to get rid of that advertisement, that's a lot of money.
So what do you click to get rid of it?
You click 321-482-4567.
That was good. You're good.
Now, the other thing I want you to watch out for is an email from a trusted person on your contact list. And the way you can tell this in most cases, it's simply going to be a link. Won't be any, hello, how are you? I saw this, thought I'd pass it on to you. It's just going to be a link. If you click on that link, now your contact list has been infiltrated, and then all of your contacts get sent out this email with that link. The other thing is you can go to the address where it came from, John Doe, but it doesn't say John Doe at the address. It says 12789Q at whatever.com, and that's where it really came from, and that's one of the indications to show that this is not something you want to click on.
One of the things that I've learned, I believe I may have learned it from you, Computer Rich, is that I will actually mouse over the link and then look down at the bottom left-hand corner, and I can see what address it's going to.
Exactly, what the real email address is. Correct.
So you can kind of mouse it over without clicking and just look at the bottom left-hand corner.
That's correct. The other thing is watch out for emails from your bank. They look just like they're from your bank, and it's going to say something to the effect that your account has been suspended due to suspicious activity, and to correct this, please click here and log in with your username and password.
Banks don't do
that. What do you think about that?
Hey, if somebody's sitting out there 70, 80, 90 years old,
that's correct.
All of a sudden you're panicked.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, banks don't do that for one, and just same with the credit card company.
Right. The bank's never going to send you something unsolicited.
Exactly.
Now, if you request it or you agree to accept their offers, then yes, you're going to get those type of emails. But you're almost never going to get an email from your bank telling you that if something like that's going to happen, they're going to send you a letter. They're going to call you on the phone. They're not going to send you an email. The other thing, and I forgot what I was going to say, senior moment. Let's see, where was I?
Got the updates there. Be aware of the different updates.
Yeah. Well, yes, as I was saying, from your bank, the email from your bank. Now, most banks will have an email address that you can forward this email to. And then they can determine that, yes, this is a fraudulent email. Bank of America has it's called abuse@bankofamerica.com. You simply forward it to that, and the bank then, in most cases, will respond back to you within, several days or so and let you know that, yes, that was a fraudulent email.
Well, one of the things that happened to me this last year, and I've been a victim of identity theft, so I'm very protective and I'm very, very cautious. I actually received an email from one of my credit card companies saying that my password had been something along, that they recommended I change it. So I actually called my credit card company and got them on the phone and asked them if they had sent me anything or if this had happened. And of course it had not, but they suggested at that time that I go ahead and make the changes myself by logging onto my account.
Correct. And that was that's the other suggestion I was going to make was never click on the link. Go directly to the website, www.mybank.com, whatever it might be. Same with those little pop-ups that say update, like a Java update. Don't click on those. In most cases, they are legitimate, but it's better to be safe than sorry. So instead of clicking on that software update, go to the website, www.java.com as an example, and download the update directly from there. That's when you're going to find out if it really was an update or if that's something you need to call 321-482-4567 to help you out with
expert advice.
Hey, that's what he does. And I say, leave it to the experts. Definitely.
I have a customer, bless her soul. She says, you know what? You have job security.
Well, I will tell you.
But that is the ultimate recommendation, though.
Yes.
Ultimate compliment, too.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I appreciate that. But again, I strive to give that kind of old-fashioned customer service. You remember when you used to go to the gas station and you pull up to the pump and some kid come running out, pumped your gas, washed your windshield, checked your oil, That's the kind of customer service that I still strive in my business.
Awesome.
And I know it's a rarity these days.
You know, it's coming back around. That may not be a bad business idea to do. Good franchise for somebody to put together.
Yeah.